So, why do you vote?
I vote so that I can feel that I have an effect on what happens in my country.
Can you remember the first time you voted?
Yes, I was. I think I was 21. That was the voting age then. And I think, could I have voted? I think I voted for Kennedy or for I can't remember. It was a presidential election, and I don't remember who I voted for actually then, way back then. But it was the Democratic candidate for president. And it was in New York City where I lived at the time.
How did that make you feel?
Fabulous, like a grown-up. Yeah, I went with my father, and I felt really, really good. I almost felt it was like the beginning of being a grown-up.
Do you remember looking up to looking forward to it? Or?
I was sort of scared. I thought I wouldn't know how to do it, or they'll look at me and they'll say, "Oh, she's too young," or something. No, I was just slightly scared, but no, I didn't look forward to it now. Not in that sense. I didn't think it would be fun, exactly. I thought it would be, doing my duty, sort of. But in fact, it was sort of fun.
Do you know anyone who doesn't vote or can't vote?
I know a lot of people who are very cynical, and they think their votes don't count. And if you think very, very hard on the subject, you could say, well, my vote doesn't count. And yet, if you don't do the best you can do, you can't really blame anything that you don't like on, you have to give yourself a part in that, in the bad stuff. You don't try your best. Even though one vote doesn't seem to really count. But lots of one votes do count.
Do you have any advice for future voters?
Let me think. I think a young person should take pleasure in making his or her voice clear, even if you don't think it will count. Because in some important way it does count, even if you can't feel it. You sort of know it. My advice is be aware of the issues and don't be afraid to take an opinion, especially an opinion that goes against everybody you know. You've got to be gutsy. Take that step and go up against everybody. And if you fail to convince them, so what? That's America. That's what's so great about living in a country. You're going to make me cry now. That, we have friends who are conservative Republicans, and we are liberal Democrats. But we love them. And my own son-in-law is a very active Republican. And we adore him, and we argue all the time, and it's good for our kids and our grandkids. And there are very few countries where you can do that. And I'm so proud to be an American. And I'm glad that you guys are thinking about these important issues and not growing up cynical. Well, I hope you do. So, there it is.
Thank you very much.